Hey everyone, this is just a user overview for providers to see what the benefits of EduLinx are for them as well as educators. Essentially, it's a directory platform to help teachers filter and find different programs as well as connect with and organize them with you through some of the features behind the scenes. So, teachers can filter just by selecting their KLA areas, or they can use key terms at the top. They get some suggestions throughout as well to help narrow that. They can do it also based on the area that they're located. You can see that it's primarily focused in New South Wales as we're still quite starting out. But within these, there are further filters. So the benefits, particularly for providers, are that you can now market to everyone on the one platform. So it's a one-stop shop just for educators as much as it is for providers. So if you have after-school care or school holiday programs, if you do online streamed ones, that might help to support remote and regional communities. Maybe you do it for staff, teach professional learning, and the sort of mainstays of excursions and partnerships and incursions. Teachers can also filter based on the stages as well. So within this, we've tried to cover as much as we can the key learning areas and cross-curricular priorities as well. So for instance, if we look at well-being, you can see extra filters here based on topic areas that are pretty common across the curriculum that well-being teachers try to address as well to support students across the different stages. So we'll take a look at a sort of sample program. When you do a sample program, any sort of program that you put together, you'll have to fill out this form. So when you add program, this is the listing form that you get. There are tips on the right-hand side, and they help to show you what everything looks like as well. Some of the main things you'll notice is there is Google Maps integration. You also have the multiple touring or venue locations that you can select. You can always select multiple. You have also got the key learning areas, and you can also select multiple here. So you'll see that these extra filters appear only when you actually have selected these areas. So if we remove these, for instance, the base filters that you need to fill out are the program type, the suitable stages, and organization support, because to help you build your reputation and support teachers as much as possible, there are things that you can do in the organization process, such as regional touring. Maybe you provide the equipment, or you do your own risk assessments, for instance. We've also provided some extra support in that description box. So you can consider adding things like the duration or the dates. And if you have risk management plans or assessments, you can also put them in with the hyperlink here. You can also use bold, italics, and some of these other features to organize this. And we give you a lot of flexibility with how you do that. Your pricing information here, we've provided again some extra tips to help support different education areas. Anytime you want to enable appointment bookings, which is a new feature we've had at the start of the year, you need to have the business hours. Social media, you can have any videos, and your featured image is what appears on that front page. So just to come back, if you take a look at the appointments, for instance, the appointments appear in your dashboard like this. You can approve or cancel them. Any ones that appear, you can take a look and see what the message is here and the details from an educator. Once you approve them, they appear in your calendar on the designated date and time. We'll show you another video of that just so you can see what it looks like. All your programs appear here. You get analytics for the individual program, and we'll show you what that program looks like. But if we come back to the main dashboard, the first thing you'll actually see is other more detailed analytics. And you can see the insights for your leads, views, and reviews on a weekly and monthly basis as well. Any recent activity will also appear here. So if we look at that sample program, this is how it actually looks. So here's your description box here, the additional details or filters, all the contact information, any pricing information, and if you've enabled the appointment booking feature, you can see it here. There are limitations, but we think it's certainly possible that these will be able to expand upon in future updates. The real benefit is that teachers can book ahead of time and reserve dates, particularly for getting things organized in advance. And you'll notice that extra information that we mentioned before. So if we come back to the actual program itself, if you look at the reviews, for instance, you can do that. But teachers can give you them based on the quality of what you've provided, how easy it was to organize with you, how affordable it was, and the suitability of the program for what they were after. And you can reply to that here, or if you come back to your dashboard, that'll appear in the reviews section here, and you can see that and reply directly to it. Teachers also can contact you through the contact info and lead out and fill out the form here. Any of those conversations will appear in your inbox. And you get notifications for all of this, as do educators, and you can see email and phone information here. So you can also start to build a database for yourself based on the different educators that you get in contact with and their institutions. One of the final things to really show you is the profile. So if you go to update your profile and we come back here, you'll notice that it's quite easy for you to transition. Perhaps if you have a change of staff, you can just update the email, or we can always do that for you. The About Us section, we've enabled the capacity to include hyperlinks. So if you use the same risk assessment, for instance, across multiple programs, rather than putting in each individual program, save yourself the time, put it here. All of that transparency we're trying to do to save you admin time, but also help educators to more quickly organize their programs with you. One of the great things too for educators is that they can actually save your programs, and when they do that, it'll appear in the saved area so that they can maintain those connections. You can also always provide your social links here, and that can appear on your profile, or you can put it into each individual program. It's really up to you. We give you that sort of flexibility. So, as with everything, we're always keen to get feedback, and you can always contact us and fill out the form to give us any suggestions, perhaps on features that you would like to see or recommendations that you have. And as you'll see in all of our marketing, the pricing, you are given a 1-year free trial to begin with and 50% off for the first 100 users after that first year. But the subscription packages are really affordable, and we're also open to hearing more flexibility with these different packages, but we feel like it's covered a good range of sort of startup providers all the way through to your more established museums, for instance.